They say you can tell a lot by looking at a man's hands. They're lined with the prose of his life. Each fold, each crease is a line in his narrative. Reflection. It's easy to forget how you've come to be who you are, what has guided you through life. Your hands, they are all you have when you're misplaced. You hold them out to be rescued. They are what you raise when you're triumphant. You express joy with your hands, love. When you tiptoe across the slack line of life, they are your balance, your freedom. My hands. I got nothing but time on my hands. Hands guided only by the ebb and flow of the tides. But hey, this isn't a story about me. This is a story, perhaps, about you. Let me tell you a story about a life less ordinary. Let me tell you a story about a man. As a young man, he was searching beyond himself, dreaming of something to help bring harmony and make sense of things, hoping to one day find clarity and meaning. Looking back, his connection to the ocean was ignited as far back as he could remember. And with this connection in tow, he later ventured out into the world, where he conquered. He even found pure bliss. Yet, years later, returning home, something seemed missing. There were still questions needing to be answered. You see, most people, they ignore these questions. They're happy to simply find life's balance, yet fail to see what else lies beyond the horizon. What if I told you that balance could be both a blessing and a curse? I know you're always taught to view from the side, objectively. Decisions should be objective, safe. But what's wrong with taking a breath and stepping into the void? Into the unknown? Why not look a little further and pursue something greater than balance? The ocean. My place. If I may say so, a beautiful place. Mesmerizing. However, some say moody and unpredictable, not to be trusted. But what if its moods are your reflection? What if the inky blackness of its vastness mirrors your insignificance? Or its sublime emerald shallows radiate your effervescence? What if through all this, it is the one place that holds all the answers, given the chance? Look, he is searching for his horizon. Vulnerable? Yes. Exposed? Perhaps. However, he does not need to leap. For now, just take a gentle step, then another. You see how he's looking for that decisive moment, something unique. Yet every strike on the subject he knows so well, his findings seem all too familiar. Thing is, he does not realize it, but with these first few early encounters, what he is doing is he's simply connecting. He's reaching for that place that connects his body to his soul. He's allowing this space to consume his mind. But then, his mind returns. He seeks the truth, but he does not allow the truth to fully yet find him. As time went on, I kept a constant lookout for him. Sometimes he would spend days away from the ocean, but from what I learned, as important to him as venturing out, so became returning home, refining. It all became part of the process, before venturing forth once more. He saw his tools as his workhorse, labored by his hands and guided by his vision. He was constantly trying to iron out the creases and seamlessly connect all three. The experimentations, tiny tweaks, small actions, all becoming part of the big ideas. It all happens in a moment, a heartbeat. You take those few tentative steps, you discover. Your discovery turns to wonder. You take a few more steps, your wonder turns to curiosity. You step again. Eventually, the days turned to night. The months became years. Time expanded, slowed down. The world evolved, and so did he. But all the while, things became clearer. He began to understand. This is where he's meant to be. Each time he ventured forth, he carried the knowledge of the previous swim. Each swim, he saw something new, until finally realizing what he had been looking for was bathed in light. Little nuances, refractions, rare wonders of the ocean's design, only visible to him. He's drawn into it now. He reaches out, his hands stretch. He has to lean forward to get a hold. This is it. This is the point at which we truly connect. Not because he saves me. Not because he pulls an old man from the sea. No. He submits to me. He reaches out and lets me fully take hold. As he sinks below my surface to a place where he's not meant to be. Yet being there is the most natural state of his sentient being. And all around is wonder, wizardry, color, and light. He is infused with calm. He is transported. his soul begins to float free. He has found himself in that rare moment where tide, wind, and energy have all collided in perfect harmony. He doesn't need to breathe. He doesn't need to feel the balance of breath to exist, to burst in this sublime state. He silently knows there's no perfect image, no defining moment. Yet he discovers his truth. It reads between the lines. It may have taken him years to submit. He may have been confused, exposed, vulnerable. Vicious winds and lashing rain may have tempered his spirit, his vision impaired by my blinding glare, his mind fearful of my steel-gray cloak. But each time he took that small step, every moment he threw himself off the rocks into my unforgiving grip, the divide between his world and mine thinned, until finally he could not return. It's not so easy anymore. He knows this, but it is all he cares to know. For whatever happens tomorrow, he's had today. I would be happy to die here. His words, not mine.